We're here today at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference 2020. I'm sitting down with Mitchell Smith. Mitchell is with Global Energy Metals Corp, and we're here to talk a little bit about the battery metal space. Mitch, thanks for joining us.
Excellent. Thanks very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about battery metals,
Sure.
why they're so important, and why should investors, especially a new investor, be looking into that space?
Definitely. Well, I think I'm not alone in this room when I say that electrification is here. All around we see the adoption rate of electric vehicles, we see portable devices being used, everybody has a mobile phone, a tablet, whatever it may be. All of those are powered by batteries that require critical minerals like cobalt, lithium, nickel to be used. And really it's the supply of these metals that we in this room are all important or key on given the junior exploration that we're in.
Of course, and like you said, everybody has some sort of a battery either in their phone, some device, electric cars. The future is bright when it comes to that space.
For sure.
Now, you guys at Global Energy Metals have a focus on cobalt.
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about the space that you guys are in when it comes to the jurisdictions that you're focused on? Where are your projects?
Definitely. So, cobalt is predominantly a byproduct metal. It comes from copper and nickel production. Now, most of that production in the world comes from one very challenged country, and that's the DRC in Africa. About 70% of the world's production is originated from the DRC as a byproduct metal. We saw an opportunity to diversify that potential supply and look outside of the DRC and look at countries that are stable jurisdictions, that are pro-mining, that have infrastructure in place. And so we were drawn to Australia, to Queensland and Mount Isa, where we have the Millennium Cobalt Project, and Mount Dorothy and Cobalt Ridge, 2 satellite assets. We have our legacy asset in Ontario, the Warner Lake Project. And we just recently acquired an option in Nevada, about 150 kilometers away from the world's biggest battery factory, the Tesla Gigafactory 1. And that's the Lovelock and Treasure Box projects.
Well, that's great. Obviously, being in that Nevada region adds a lot of credibility,
For sure.
adds a lot of clout to what you guys are doing. What, out of all the different sort of metals, what drove you into being focused in the battery metal, specifically cobalt? Like, what's your passion behind this?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I mean, and we saw a niche opportunity, and we've been involved in the cobalt space for over 10 years. We have a very strong team, both on the technical side and the sector side, who understands the metal, who understands the dynamics of it and the end use market. So we wanted to be able to focus on something that is very niche, that had a significant growth opportunity. And very early on, we were adopters of this trend for electrification, and the realization that battery metals were going to play a very key role in this. And cobalt was one of those that had supply constraints. It had jurisdictional risk. And the demand curve wasn't there yet. And so, we saw a few years ago the cobalt price spike, and really that was, a hurrah moment of, wow, there's this new demand that's being brought on by electrification of vehicles and portable electronic devices, and that is consistent now. And the trend is for a significant amount of cobalt required to keep up with that. One thing that we do see lagging in this is capital injection into the development of these projects in order to meet the supply that's being demanded upon by this new automotive space.
Got it. So Mitch, part of this initiative is to encourage a younger investor to look into this space as an investment opportunity. Mm-hmm. What would be something that your message to a young investor, and why should they be looking at this space?
Yeah, young investors, I think they already see that this space is the one to be investing in. We as we started this conversation, everybody holds an iPhone or a a smartphone of some sort. We all use computers or tablets, etc. So we all have something that has batteries in them, and so understanding what goes into those is so important. And if you can invest in that, and if you can believe in that, that's the future. This is a really prime opportunity to be able to do so, especially when this sector is just at its infancy at this point.
And so for a young investor, where can they find out some more information on what you guys do at Global Energy Metals?
Sure. I mean, we have a website. We're www.globalenergymetals.com. We have a very public presence. We're publicly traded, and always feel free to give me a call. I'm very active on social media. At Energy Metals is our Twitter account. So anybody who wants to follow us, I'm more than happy to share a conversation with and create awareness about this very important space.
Great. Mitch, I appreciate your time. Thanks for not only telling us a little bit about what you do, but also educating us on the space in general.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Excellent. Thank you.